under my shirt. I don't wanna talk about that, 'cause I got the love and a beautiful woman. There's nothing's gonna take her place. She make me feel just like a natural born winner when I'm not even in the race. That's why they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Never had a whole lot of money. I was never good at games and chance. When I'm playing cards with my buddies, where the money flies right out of my pants. Don't you know I got a little secret? It's the ace of hearts up my sleeve. And when I get home to my honey, she give me love like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. When I'm walking through my neighborhood, everybody knows I'm feeling good. See me smiling from my head to my feet. They say, ain't that Mr. Lucky coming down the street? Hey, that's me. I'm Mr. Lucky when you kiss my lips, when you touch me with your fingertips. I'm Mr. Lucky when you hold me tight. I'm Mr. Lucky when we kiss goodnight. Baby, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. You know that's right. Baby, 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 baby.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking in your world? I've got to get it so my microphone's like this. That's all I'm saying. I can't do it right now. I'm sorry, folks. We gotta really work on this setup. Hope you're having a great Saturday night. Hope everybody's doing really well. Karen Garvey would like to thank you for your support of the show via PayPal. And Edward as well. I really can't tell you how much that means. We really need it, and we really appreciate it. Of course, you can get merchandise. I'll be showing you some later in the show by going to cafepress.com/The Tom Gully Show. And, of course, you can always contribute via PayPal, and that is paypal.me, Tom Gully Show. I got a Patreon getting set up here, so maybe we'll get some folks being members there. I'm going to be putting some exclusive video content from the past up there you may or may not like. But that's what's going on here this evening. I don't know why the last couple nights, just as I do the show, my voice goes to heck in a handbasket. 972-994-6822 is the number to call. With the phrase that pays. However, for right now, let me tell you about the Snake River Canyon jump. Evel Knievel, who you see right there over my shoulder, was the greatest stuntman and daredevil in the world. In his day, he jumped tons of buses, and he was famed for his disastrous attempt to jump the fountains at Caesar's Palace. I'll be showing you that just shortly. His jump at Kings Island is the stuff of legend. I'll show you that as well. He jumped over 50 stacked cars at the Los Angeles Coliseum, and he spectacularly failed at Wembley Stadium. Now, he was a true daredevil, okay? Succeeding spectacularly and failing just as spectacularly. He was reported to have broken every single bone in his body. We're going to get to some video here in just a second. Reverend Wild Bill says it must be stage fright causing... Yeah, I'm way past stage fright at this point, but thank you. Woody from Syracuse. Saw him last night on the Replayables chat room, and I also heard him this morning on El Horrible's program. Woody, always good to see you. You are a great guy, and it is a pleasure to have you. Saying hello to the lovely and talented Karen Garvey. That's always nice. It says he did not break every bone in his... Did he not break every bone in his body at least once? That was the story. Karen Garvey reaching out. We always like a cheerful chat room. If there's one thing that we dig around here, it is a cheerful chat room. Now, I remembered some things, and of course I mentioned them just a few seconds ago, about his career. Now, we're going to show you first one of his big attempts that succeeded. All right? And I'm going to share it with you right now. I think there's something I'm supposed to do first, but we'll get to that in a second. Here he is at Kings Island in 1975. And this was one of the ones that worked, actually. And let me just show it to you here. Bam.
Evel Knievel is very intense. We talked to him a few moments ago before he came out of the van. And his total concentration now is getting that bike off the approach ramp and onto the landing ramp. And he's not hesitating. He'll go.
Really famous for this stuff, folks. That's the Evel Knievel outfit, too. That legendary outfit. That's one of the ones that worked. He always needed quite a landing area, a long one, because he had quite a ways to travel. In fact, there were several times when he had to lay his bike down because the area that he had to land in wasn't far enough. So that's the iconic Evel Knievel outfit as well. There it is with the V in front with the red, white, and blue and the stripes, and of course the leggings as well. That's what we all came to know him for during those years. So Evel did a great thing there. That was his longest jump ever, okay? 133 feet, the big one. And let's see here. Everybody's saying hi in the cheerful chat room. Karen Garvey, by the way, thank you as well. Karen Garvey says, I wish I could more right now. Oh, probably do more or help more. Karen, you've done so much already. Anything that anybody can do is great. I truly appreciate it. I know people, especially around the holidays, don't have a lot of money to throw around, and I'm just kind of here begging. But we really, really do appreciate the support. So thank you. Thank you very much. Reverend Wild Bill says, did you hear of his cousin Evel Kowalski jumping 13 motorcycles in a garbage truck? I did, I think, hear about that. Reverend Wild Bill said he had a long landing area because he couldn't afford to purchase the optional brakes. Yes. Does anyone recall Evel Knievel doing a movie called Viva Knievel? I do recall that. I was going to get into some of his media because he was all over the media. He had movies made not only with him, but I think 2 documentaries that he participated in, but also a movie about him starring George Hamilton, I believe. Let's get to this next clip, which is unfortunately, this one was not successful. This is the most legendary of his failures, I would say. And it's also one that will have, where are we at here? Oh, yeah, stop screen. It's also one that this will be covered by some links to other stuff, unfortunately, toward the end. But you will get it. You will really get it. He, didn't have quite as good of a landing in this one, unfortunately. And this is the iconic failure. He does not have his famous suit on in this one, but this will show you the other side of Evel Knievel when it didn't work.
The undisputed king of motorcycle daredevils is Evel Knievel. For 3 decades, the entire world was a witness of his success or failure. His most memorable stunt gone bad was in 1967, Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas,
oh boy.
Nevada.
Yeah. It's a bad one.
The injuries at Caesar's Palace are shocking. Evel Knievel breaks over 40 bones and is in a coma for 30 days. He never attempted the jump again, but the legend of Caesars was born.
I'll let that roll, no pun intended. But that's the other side of Evel Knievel. And, with all the successes, and I mean spectacular successes, he had those failures, and that's what made him so famous, and that's what, dare I say, made everyone love him so much, is that he wasn't doing things that were kind of cosmetic and that weren't really going to get him injured. He was doing the stuff that was really dangerous, and he wasn't afraid to show when it failed, and he always came back. So let's see here. Woody from Syracuse, Riff that movie, hilarious. Riff Tracks and MST3K amongst my favorites. Yes, what Reverend Wild Bill knew before I even said it. The Fountain. That's the one. It's really hard to watch because he just keeps rolling, and he's breaking bones all the way. Karen Garvey says I need to watch the Riff Tracks version. Yeah, get it there. And our good friend Woody supplies the information. It's on Pluto TV. Reverend Wild Bill, Triumph motorcycle. Yeah, the British ones are good ones. I think he jumped Triumphs his whole time. We're going to tell you about another thing he used to jump, which was not a motorcycle, here in a couple seconds. Reverend Wild Bill says, look like a Bonneville. Karen Garvey says, Johnny Knoxville made a pretty good documentary about Evel Knievel. I do remember that. That was at the end of Evel's life. And it was a very, very, very good documentary. So, with those things in mind, then came his attempt to jump the Snake River Canyon. Okay? Now, I'll just put this one up here for the time being. We don't want that. We want this. Okay, so ABC's Wild World of Sports was unwilling to pay Evel the price he wanted for jumping the Snake River Canyon, so he hired boxing promoter Bob Arum's company, Top Rank Productions, to put the event on closed-circuit television and to broadcast to movie theaters. On April 15th, 1972, the X-1, that's the first version of the rocket ship, if you will, that you see in the caption on screen, was launched to test the feasibility of the launching ramp. The decision was then made to have Truax build two, what they called the Sky Cycle. He didn't ever want to get away from that motorcycle thing, although we all knew it was a rocket. They called it the Sky Cycle, okay? They built two of them called the X2s, and one was to test and one was for the actual jump. Now, both the X1 and the X2 test vehicles went into the river. The launch, however, took place at the south rim of the Snake River Canyon, okay, west of Shoshone Falls on September the 8th, 1974, 3:36. The steam that powered the engine, yes, Wild Bill, it was a steam engine, and we'll cover that this week coming up as well, was superheated to a temperature of 500 degrees Fahrenheit. The drogue parachute, however, that was used in the event that made it across the canyon prematurely deployed as the sky cycle left the launching rail and induced a significant drag. And even though the craft made it across the canyon, okay, to the north rim, the prevailing northwest winds caused it to drift back into the canyon. So it hit the side of the canyon. It didn't hit it, it went into the canyon, and then because that parachute was loose, it started drifting back toward the direction that it came. Okay? So by the time it hit the bottom of the canyon, it landed only a few feet from the water on the same side of the canyon from which it had been launched. If he had landed in water, Knievel said that he would have drowned, and that's probably true. He was strapped into that thing. He was not easily able to get out of it. He needed help to get out of it. Also, his harness malfunctioned and wouldn't let him out, keeping him even more strapped in. He survived the failed jump with only minor physical injuries, and those of us who've seen the video, and I'm going to show it to you in just a few minutes here, he landed on a small outcropping. It was a pure miracle that he did not land in the river. There was just a slight outcropping of some brush and grass, and he landed on that. He, as I said, survived with only a few minor injuries. Since that launch in 1974, 7 daredevils expressed interest in recreating the jump, including Knievel's 2 sons, Robbie and Kelly. In 2010, Robbie announced he would recreate the jump. Stuntman Eddie Braun announced he was working with Kelly and Robert Truex's son to recreate the jump using a replica of the Sky Cycle X2. Braun's jump took place on September 16, 2016, and it was completed successfully. This is killing me that I'm this far over. I got to do something so I don't have to lean back into frame quite as far. There. Perfect. Just like we planned it in pre-show production meetings that never took place. Let's see here. Although the parachute deployed early in this failed jump by Evel, here he is upon exiting, by the way, after the failed attempt. Aerial photographs show the X2 cleared the canyon. He actually cleared the canyon. However, that wind blew the rocket back to the launch site, crashing at the bottom of the canyon, barely missing the river, and he would have drowned. In order to obtain permission from the state of Idaho to perform the canyon jump, the X2 was registered as an airplane rather than a motorcycle. Let's see here. We got a little action going on in the chat. Let's see here. Wild Bill says the rocket was during his Harley days. Yes, he had gone to a Harley Davidson at a certain point. I think because of the America thing and whatnot. Not now, Barry. Someone's talking in the chat that I apparently have banned at some point. So Karen's talking to him. I can't see a thing he's saying. Karen says, no, but VTL is. So VTL's name not welcome on this program, often or ever. Okay, ever. 972-994-6822 is the number to call after I play this video, probably. But this is educational. Don't use steam rockets. Yeah, steam rockets don't work very well. 3 X2s were built, the Sky Cycles, and the first 2, as I mentioned, for test flights. And Evel was unable to fund further tests, so he used the 3rd for the actual jump. In 2007, The SkyCycle X21 was offered for sale for $5 million. The X22 is owned by the Knievel estate and periodically exhibited along with a museum of Knievel's artifacts. Now, this is that exhibit model. If it were blown up a little larger, I'll go ahead and do that. You could see that it's actually dented and damaged along the front. This is that that actual rocket, airplane, call it what you will. But yeah, that's it. It's actually damaged from the attempt. They didn't fake it. In the era before cable networks, the Sunday afternoon jump was covered by Top Rank on paid closed-circuit television in several hundred theaters and arenas, and it was an average price of $10. Taped coverage by ABC was shown on Wide World of Sports later in the month. The ticket price at the launch site was $25. The jump, however, this jump completely pushed out of the headlines by the pardon of Richard Nixon by Gerald Ford. So many people, although they wanted to see it, although they heard about it, didn't make much of a splash, so to speak, because of the, pardoning of Richard Nixon. Excuse me. Reverend Wild Bill said, Barry Stevenson, I'm going to drive to wherever you are. Well, Reverend Wild Bill, another person has said that to another person in the Dabbleverse recently. Reverend Wild Bill says, that's who Karen's talking to in chat. Okay, you guys can all see him. Well, I apologize for that. Just ignore him. But I recommend that you block him personally. Thanks for being here, Barry. 972-994-6822 is the number to call. We're going to go ahead and we are going to show that Snake River Canyon jump. And we'll see what you can, get out of that. I may have to forward through this a little bit. It's a longer clip. Let's see.
David, as Evel gets out, he has one problem. That's the wind factor today. Here he comes now. Here he comes now, carrying.
He always made a big entrance, so did Evel. There he is in that iconic outfit.
He is on his way
Had to be helicoptered up to the actual SkyCycle. Look at him. That right there is enough Daredevil for me, personally. I couldn't do that. Ever.
Time I was hurt, they all said, that guy is lucky to be not dead. They were right. But I wanted to get up. Try it again. I kept telling myself that I knew I could win. So I closed my eyes, and to the Lord I would pray. Oh, help me, God. Let me walk someday.
Yeah, I think I'd be praying too if I was doing this, between you and me. Let's get... Oh, here's that iconic crash again at Caesar's Palace. Look at this thing. Look at this.
What I've been trying to tell you all along is that it's got to be.
It's just unbelievable.
If you wonder why, the answer to that is just like you. I've got to be me.
So there they are, strapping him in. A number of technicians. Here we go. Waiting, waiting.
2, 1.
And there goes that parachute. Way too early. Way too early. And down he goes.
You released prematurely.
And, of course, already had cleared the canyon, but the wind is blowing him backwards.
Here she goes. Release the river to canyon. Going to crash, obviously, into the river.
He's going in the river. Everybody knows it. And there, he lands just on that little rocky outcropping. The chute goes into the water, but he doesn't.
I can't see anything. The helix, nobody has gone into the water. As I say, there are 2 men rowing up to the site.
What about the
No motor-driven boats down
You
there.
really
I
can't
believe
see it, but he landed just on that rocky outcropping there. And, that's the way it went for Evel Knievel on that day. The legendary Snake River Canyon jump. And, you know, we all, I'm telling you right now, we all of us, just watched and waited because he made so many incredible jumps. And we thought, you know, this guy is indestructible. He's going to do it. There's no doubt in anyone's mind. He is going to do it. And, of course, there's always that thought in the back of your head. What if he doesn't? You know, Jim Rome interviewed Evel years ago, says Woody from Syracuse, there was a discussion on the chance of survival for a certain stunt. Knievel said he had a coin flip's chance of making it. And Rome asked, why would he take a 50-50 chance of dying on such a risky stunt? Evel replied in his grim and rough voice, do you know who I am? That was the other thing about Evel. He was a man's man. He was rugged. He was a dude, you know. Evel Knievel was the real deal. He was an OG. He was the man, you know. He was just you know, indestructible. Reverend Wild Bill says, damn shoot. Let's see. Woody said it was sad when Evel said that. Do you know who I am? And he was evil up till the day he died. You know, he died at age 69, which is a little bit early. But when you consider the times he went into comas, the times he was actually dead on a table, that guy put himself and his body through everything. Let's see here. Barry's in here, says, I like Tom Gully. I'm not going to be respectful. You might be the king of the Dabbleverse, but not now. Who is Barry? I'm asking. Because I would have banned Barry in the, I'm going to do you a favor, Barry. I shouldn't stop down and do this during the show. If you act up again, I'll just go ahead and ban you again. That's no big deal. I don't like to ban people, but you were clearly doing something out of line the first time, or I wouldn't have banned you. But I'm going to do you a flavor here, right in the middle of my show. Shouldn't really be doing it right now, but I'm going to do it. Okay? In the middle of the show, because you've made such a nuisance of yourself that I'm going to let you... Oh, Barry's VTL? Then forget it. He's not getting in. If it is VTL, and I have no way of knowing that it is, you are a low, absolutely scumbag human being. That's all there is to it. I know you think you're this funny troll, and oh boy, who can... You are not even that intellectually sound. You're a joke. Anybody that knows anything about logic and fact, you're a joke. You're an absolute joke. Let's see, Barry Steve. Yeah, if that's VTL, forget it. Forget it. I was going to be a nice guy, but no. Terry Nee says, I remember it. I have an Evel Knievel bike flag. Who remembers those? I do remember those. Do you remember the Evel Knievel toy? You know, come on, Evel. That whole thing. Uncle Jack says, hey, Tom, how are you, brother? Uncle Jack, you can't even imagine how happy I am to see you here. I love what you do in the Shuley Network. And, brother, I'm so happy to hear you call me that. You are a fine, fine individual, and it's a pleasure to have you here. Hugh says, I remember an interview after this. The interviewer asks, what's the best thing he got out of that jump? He points down at his feet and he says, new rattlesnake boots. That was the other thing about Evel. He had a flair to him. He was grandiose. You know, it's really great. Uncle Jack said, I had the toy. A lot of us did. You know the thing about that commercial, maybe I should try to find it and play it. That commercial was shot on a set that looked like it was in a building zone or something. It wasn't even one of those nice Mattel or Hasbro or whatever it was sets. It was. Let me see if I can pull that up and play it. We've got Hugh saying Barry is VTL or Stut Joe. It won't be Stut Joe. Stuttering John doesn't know who I am. Doesn't care who I am. Karen Garvey says, Terry Nee, I forgot about the bike flags. Those were great. Everybody had their Evel Knievel bike flag. Reverend Wild Bill says, Evel's motorcycle jump toy must have. That was a must-have toy, I'm telling you. Let me see here. Evel Knievel toy commercial. Well, maybe it's here for us. Maybe it's here. Oh, it is here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that, let me just see that thing. And I think this is the real one. It was made by Ideal. Oh, yeah, this is the real one. Let me just get that up here real quick. Yeah, VTL is just... We're not going to talk about him anymore. That's what he wants. He's just... Love to meet him in person, though. Love to meet him in person. Of course, that would be problematic because I normally don't carry a microscope with me. All right, let's see here. Attorney says KG. All right. Karen Garvey, she's the belle of the ball here. Uncle Jack says the rev up motorcycle with the launch delay. Yeah, that's right. People saying hi to each other. We love a cheerful chat room here. We really do. 972-994-6822. After I play this, though. I got to play this. Let's see here. I want to share my screen. And we're going to do that. And we're going to do this. And I'm going to share that, baby. And here we go.
Evel's riding the amazing stunt cycle. That gyro power sends him over 100 feet at top speed. And he's not through yet. Dragster. Evel's super street car with built-in brake shoes to slow him down. What a hook. And now, the Sky Cycle. That daredevil death-defying supersonic skyplane on wheels. And here he is on the super cool chopper bike with the power that can really rip. He's sensational. He's Evel Knievel. He's a knockout. He's ideal.
He even crashes at the end like Evel would. That's awesome. That is awesome. Let's see here. Reverend Wild Bill says, made by the same people who brought you lawn darts. Those lawn jarts, what they call it or something? I recently was at a picnic or something, and they had the lawn jarts, and boy, have they PC'd those things up. When I was a kid, you could take a life with those, and now they're substantially less lethal. Let's see here. We got Terry Nee says, Evel had a yacht on the New River in Fort Lauderdale, Florida that he won in a poker game. Yeah, he was always winning stuff in poker games. He was always wearing a lot of animal skins, all that stuff. Uncle Jack says, I forgot about the drag racer. I had that too. Yeah, you have to get the Sky Cycle. Jarts, yeah, the Lonjas. Uncle Jack says, I'm old. Not in this room, you're not. Not in this room, you're not, Chief. You're doing fine in this room. Anyway, there you go. Tyler Schollenberger should do a show on the Siegfried and Roy tiger attack when the tiger turned on him. Tyler Schollenberger, you're worth your weight in gold, my man. We're going to do a show on Tommy Cooper. We're going to do a show on the steam rocket, and then we also will do Siegfried and Roy for you and you only, Tyler Schollenberger. The way to earn your way into my heart is to subscribe to this program. Just subscribe. Doesn't cost you nothing. Maybe like this episode. You can share it if you want, I suppose. Also, if you'd like to get some merchandise, I'm going to be showing you some here in just a second. But you can also contribute to the show until we get monetized at paypal.me/Tom Gully Show. Karen was nice enough to do so, and I can't thank her enough. Very much appreciated. And Reverend Wild Bill says, I think I'm the oldest. You may indeed be the oldest, Wild Bill. But you also may be the wildest. Ha-ha. What do you think about that? Oh, let's see here. I think I'd like to show you some merchandise from the Tom Gully Show collection, which you can find at thetomgullyshow.com and going to the store, or you can just go to cafepress.com, The Tom Gully Show. And I'll do the big surprise last. We have a number of items here that, they're right here. Okay, here we go. We have a number of items here you might like. We've got the long-sleeved T-shirts, of course, for men and women. Ladies, don't think we've forgotten about you, because we have ladies' Tom Gully Show T-shirt. I don't know what the difference is. I mean, I know what the difference is between men and ladies. I don't know what the difference is between the shirts. Couldn't tell you. I make a couple of bucks on this, not many, because I want to keep the prices low so you guys can get something you like if you want to go that route. This is our famous 20-ounce coffee club. Rented lips. This is our famous 20-ounce coffee mug. It's a big one. We also have 2 smaller sizes if you'd like. There's everything on there. There's a shower curtain. There's a number of other things if you enjoy that sort of thing. But I have right here with me, and I know the Reverend Wild Bill and Tyler Schollenberger will remember this fondly. We have, of course, one of our most popular items. I'll just put it in front of me here. The Tom Gully Show clock. There it is in all of its glory. This is actually a very affordable item. It's like $13. So, plus shipping. Cafe Press will make you pay some shipping now. But it's just a plastic clock, for crying out loud. Anyway, there's some of those things. So, anyway, if you want some of that stuff, it's there. It's available for you. 972-994-6822. I kind of like that stuff because, as Reverend Wild Bill and Tyler will tell you, for years, people were encouraging me to monetize the show. And I just said, you know what? I don't want folks to have to pay anything to see this. But then, I guess about a month ago, I started thinking, I do have some exclusive things and some things that, if we can make a few dollars, I can buy some new equipment, do some things like that, give a little bit to charity, help me in my soccer coaching endeavors and things of that nature. So what the heck? Let's see here. Karen Garvey is saying she may be older. Hey, let's not fight over that, kids, right? We don't want AARP in here. Reverend Wild Bill says 69 here. You're going to have to be a little more specific about that on this show, Reverend Wild Bill. Tyler Schollenberger says, I played the Tomathon last night just to help with those viewing hours. No Filter Paul cracks me up. I'm sure we'll have No Filter Paul on as a guest very soon. He's a good friend, and you are right. The man is hilarious. And I do thank you for playing the Tomathon. If you want, right before you go to bed, just pop the Tomathon on, and you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to watch it. Just let it play through. It's 8 hours, and those will generate those all-important viewing hours that I need. Had I not stopped streaming for the long length of time I did due to contractual obligations by my terrestrial broadcast employer, we'd already be there. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. Woody from Syracuse says, Evel Knievel had a famous diamond-studded walking stick with hidden liquor compartment. I remember that. He had that with him all the time. The man, he liked to pop a cork. He'd like to have a snort once in a while. Tyler's saying, hi, well, Wild Bill, the difference in the shirts is the cut. Well, I hope so, but not always. Just depends on the girl. Reverend Wild Bill says the Tom Gully clock. It is iconic. Actually, Reverend Wild Bill knows this. Some actual celebrities have the clock. People I've interviewed. They actually have the clock and have showed it in their social media. I don't know why, but they have. Tyler Schollenberger says, I remember the clock. I believe it was shower curtain too. Yeah, you can get a shower curtain if you want. It's pricey. It's $50. Reverend Wild Bill says, great quality products. They really are. It's really good stuff. If it wasn't, I wouldn't, make it available. If they were going to sell you cheap junk, I just wouldn't do it. It wouldn't be worth it. What do I want? People mad at me because they got a cruddy T-shirt. Terry Nee says, Charity, the dancer? No, that's misty, stormy, a lot of different weather descriptions. No, it's... I like to give soccer equipment to various soccer leagues in areas that aren't as affluent, that might not be able to afford it. If they need a net, if they need really whatever they need, I like to help out with that to get the program and the soccer going in underfunded areas. Anyway. Woody from Syracuse says, by the way, emergency episode of Rico tonight at 10:30. I am here, and I am telling you, the folks at the Shuley Network have been nothing but kind to me And they're hilarious. They're extremely talented. And so 10:30 tonight, I'm assuming that's Eastern time. Please turn into the emergency episode of the Uncle Rico Show and check out all those guys. Shuley, hilarious, quite a gentleman. Bob Levy. Bob Levy will not remember this, but Bob Levy and I have actually been on a streaming show before together. So there you are. And he's hilarious. Zenhauser is just a funny dude. He's extremely knowledgeable, too. I think that gets lost sometimes. That guy throws out some stuff that really indicates he has a deep pop culture knowledge. And those people who watch this show knows how many points he's going to earn with me on that. Because I'm the same way. I'm a freak for that kind of stuff. Watermelon Crush. It's so good. Karen Garvey says, Woody, 10:30. That's so late. Well, normally my show puts people to sleep, so you wake up from the nap, and there you are. Reverend Wild Bill says, one day I will have a Tom Gully clock in the room. I had a chat with Wild Bill, video chat, earlier today. Every time I see the room, it's more elaborate than the last time, and I'm proud to have donated an artifact for the room. It was a Walking Dead head. So Terry Nee says, nice. Woody from Syracuse says, gotta go, peeps. Have a good night. Nice to meet you, Tom. Woody, meet me. We're old friends. We're in the brotherhood of the chat room over there in the BS show. So good to meet you two. Good to hear you today on El Horrible. It was great. Karen Garvey says, thanks for showing up, Woody. Yes, Woody, thank you so much for being here. 972-994 is the number to call. Barry, if you want to call up, please call up. Come on. Bring your big bag of nothing onto my show. You notice my show in the description doesn't say nothing in this show is actual historical events. Like a guy who calls himself a lawyer. I have no proof that he's a lawyer, but he calls himself a lawyer. Very first thing in every description of every show he does says nothing in this show is actual legal advice, and then he proceeds to dispense legal advice. I'm just saying, if you walked into a doctor's office and some guy in a white coat with his name embroidered on the pocket said, "Hi, I'm Dr. Johnson. By the way, nothing I tell you is actual medical advice," would you listen to him? No, you'd run out of there as quick as you could. Just saying. Oh, hey, somebody's calling me up on the Skype here. No, it's Wild Bill. Dang it. Dog it. I was hoping it was Barry. No, I'm glad it's Wild Bill. Oh, sorry, I got to pretend I don't know who this is. Hi, and welcome to the Tom Gully Show. You're on the air.
I'm going to pretend like I didn't know who the hell I just called.
Well, turnabout's fair play, isn't it?
Sure is. Who'd I call anyways? Hey, Tom, but anyways.
Larry King.
I enjoyed that conversation we had earlier today.
Yes.
It was really good. It was really, really good. And I just want to jump on real quick and say, man, I love your new show and the platform and everything. It's doing good. I'll be honest, I think it's better than what the past was when it was on that other thing, the one where it keeps putting you in jail.
Well, not only that, but we were on YouTube, but right now we're not on the 5 networks that we were on at one point. I think I'm gonna, once the bugs are worked out on this one, I am going to reach out to the folks at Sonic Asylum and see if they don't mind if I post over there again. And because I did like those.
They'd let you do that. You know that.
Yeah, I think they probably would, but we'll find out. But other than that, I don't anticipate being on all 5 of those networks again. But I don't think how you could. There's no way we couldn't be better than the last show, frankly. But I do like this one better myself. It's a little more focused, and I think the topics The old show was fun, and the kind of the draw
it was
was
fun. It was fun. Well, this is fun also, but this one just seems to be more, how should I say, organized.
Well, the old one was kind of like listen every day because it's going to be the latest breaking weird stuff. And the one we're doing now is let's dredge up anything from the past history of the world and just focus on one thing. I think the thing that I'm trying to do with this show, there's a lot of misconceptions that people have about various historical events or maybe things they didn't know about. And that's fun for me to focus on one of those things. So
kind of looking at the Mandela effect.
Yeah, a little
how
bit.
How they thought things were, but they really wasn't.
Yes, exactly. Oh gosh, there's a funny quote in the chat room here. I got to put it up. Tim Jenkinson says, "Will you be attempting the jump in the Jaguar?" No, I will. No, I will not. No, I will not. I'm getting another Jaguar coming up here, but I might attempt it in that one. It's a smaller Jaguar, so I won't be doing
one
that.
of those junky ones, at XK or something like that.
It is an X type. It's not an XJ8 like the one I have now. But it is an X type, which is a little smaller.
I was thinking more of the XKE.
The XKE is awesome, but it's also that's a British It's a British manufacturer rather than the Ford manufacturer. So I stay away from those because, well, you know why. Terry Nee says everything from our childhood is considered an antique. Yes, including us, Terry. Including us.
Anyway. See, you also got to remember, too, though, in the United States, they consider antique 20 years and older.
Yeah.
Where you go to other countries, usually it starts at about 100 years and over.
Well, Karen Garvey herself says, pretty sure an antique is 100 years old. Our childhood is vintage. Mm-hmm. We still have years left. We still have years left. Live it up. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say now, if she's calling 100 years her childhood.
No, she's just saying that.
She might well be older than me then.
Oh boy, Tim Jenkinson has just hit me in my heart. But he's right. Arsenal really don't seem to like being top of the table, do they? No, they don't. Every time they have a chance to pull some distance, they play like 11 living heart donors. Worse still, I'm wearing a Houston Dynamo jersey today, well, practice jersey, because the Columbus Crew, the team I hate the most in Major League Soccer, beat LAFC, the team I like the most in Major League Soccer for the MLS Cup Championship today. So there you are. But
now, my question, now, dare I ask though, what happened with the Arsenal?
They lost 1-0 to Aston Villa.
Oh man!
So they're a point out of first place, and
Did you go watch it after we got off the line?
I didn't.
Oh well, I'm glad. I guess I'm glad then, because if you had watched it, you probably might not be on right now.
You know, I might be on the top of a tall building. Anyway, hey man, great.
Look, King Kong. No, it's Tom.
Yeah.
Arsenal lost again. He's just pissed spotting at the airplane.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, hey, great talking to you.
On that note, okay. I was just going to say, on that note, I'm going to leave.
Okay. Great minds. All right, we'll talk at you later, man.
All right, later, brother.
Bye-bye. That's the great Reverend Wild Bill. We always love it when he calls in. He's a funny guy. Terry Nee says 20 to 30 years. Yeah, that'll do it. Over here, Karen Garvey, I'm 169 years old. You don't look a day under 168. Let's see here. Tony at work says, "What's up, Tom? Happy to be here. Happy to be here. The battle cry of my good friends, the Pod Awful Cult. And tomorrow night, I highly recommend that you watch Pod Awful. It'll blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind." Tyler Schollenberger says, "Joe Exotic from Tiger King actually used to bring his tigers out to our local county fair when I was younger. The guy was legitimately crazy for real." I don't doubt it. Tim Jenkinson, Tim, I'm just going to take 10 seconds here because people will go crazy if I talk about soccer too much. But there's a part of me that is very happy for Emery, because I think we kicked him out of the club too early. And I think if he were our coach now, as our manager now, we would be top of the table, and not just by a few points. You know, I am not a Mikel Arteta fan. I really am not. Every single time, and I can draw you a picture, that we've had a chance to put our foot on the throat of the league or the champion, anything else, they don't even show up. So there you are. SG Fanboy, yes, brother, good to see you. Happy to have you here. Shout out to Terry Neve for posting the link on Twitter. Yeah, I need to get better at that. I didn't do it this time because I was running late to do the show. So, hey, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Maybe that'll work. A lot of people have told me it doesn't work, but maybe it will. You can also, if you really wanted to, go to the little description page for the show on YouTube, and there's a bunch of our social media links there, including our Facebook page, which I usually post the show to, but I didn't today because I was running late. There you go. Yeah, he doesn't seem to have what it takes to win league. No, I don't think so. Yeah. So anyway, merch. I showed you some, including the clock, and you can get that at thetomgullyshow.com. And if you'd like to make a little contribution, you can at paypal.com, paypal.me/Tom Gully Show. Karen and a couple other people were kind enough to do that last night. That's just going way above the call of duty there, and it's so appreciated. It really is. Our little show appreciates anything anybody will do for it. So SG Fanboy says, my notifications never work for YouTube. Lots of people say that. Lots of people. And I, for whatever reason, am lucky enough that when Shuli goes on or any of the other programs that I have hit the subscribe for, I do get those notifications. But a ton of people have told me that their YouTube notifications simply do not work. I don't know if there's something in the settings or what's going on, but there you go. Tim Jenkins says you don't seem to get Daredevil guys anymore. No, we do not. Well, we did get the lad from West Ham, and he's doing a pretty good job. But we do not have a Patrick Vieira in the lot, nor a Tony Adams. Reverend Wild Bill says he has a Patreon account coming soon too. Yeah, I got it all set up. I'm waiting for Patreon to approve. I'm going to put some exclusive content there. I think it's going to be $3 a month. Nothing crazy. And I've got a whole bunch of videos I made like 10 years ago, like little documentaries and things that I'll throw up there. And I probably will also either do a video production, which might mean just interviewing people on the streets, or I will do a special program every week that will only be available to people on Patreon. So we'll just see how it works out. I'm going to start off with that old content. I might also go back into my old Reverend Wild Bill and Tyler Schoenberger Remember. There's a huge amount on Facebook, and I might pull some special episodes, and I also might edit. I think there's I could have several volumes of the best of my arguing with people that called into the show. I think that might generate some some interest, because there have been some Donnybrooks. Let me see here. Reverend Wild Bill says, great show and podcast Tom did in the past. Maybe put some of those on that. Yeah, there'll be something on there worth $3. I don't know. Some of these documentaries I have are like 45 minutes long. It's like me going out to the drag races. The one at the drag races is interesting because one of the drag race sponsors actually hit me with their cart passing me. Now, they didn't hit me real hard, but they swiped me and banged into me pretty hard. And I actually chased them on foot for quite a distance, and with the camera going. And then there was words, and there's lots of stuff like that. So, whatever. 972-994-6822. Yes, how to handle trolls 101. I'm so sorry Barry didn't call in. He's so brave in the chat room. Well, when he's invisible. I guess only I can't see him. I don't know. Did I must have banned him I could have banned him on StreamYard. Uncle Jack said, I'd love to see that. Well, it's there for you. Let me tell you, there have been some good ones. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say if I ban him or not. But if that is VTL, I mean, I might as well do a little Dabbleverse chat here. I know a lot of people think he's funny. And a lot of people think he's, oh, what a troll. Ha, ha, ha. I just think he's a person of extremely low character. And I think the fake making up of mythology and then believing it himself, and a lot of the other things he does, it's like, that is played out. That's a one-trick pony, and it's, let me see here. Karen Garvey says, I didn't realize VTL was a problem. I wouldn't have talked to him. He's not a problem elsewhere. Plenty of the shows really like him. And by the way, I'm not saying you shouldn't talk to him. If you want to talk to him, I encourage you to. I'm never going to tell anybody what they should do. No, I'm not that guy. However, I got no use for him. I don't think he's funny. I don't find making up mythology about people and then playing ignorant and acting like it's the truth is very funny. It's clear that that's what he's doing. I don't find somebody that thinks they're intellectually superior to people and is really a borderline cretin. I don't find somebody that's supposed to be a lawyer. I have no proof that he's a lawyer. That flat out states they're not ever going to give you legal advice on their program, feeling superior and saying, well, legally you could do this or legally you could do that. Well, maybe, but you just write in your description, it says nothing in your show is actual legal advice. So, you might as well get some kid that works at McDonald's to give his legal opinions. Tim Jenkins says, what do you think of Alex Jones returning to Twitter? I think the guy's got a right to free speech, and if Twitter wants to have him, that's their deal. I used to be a big Alex Jones fan a long time ago, and as he got more and more incredulous for me to believe, I liked him less. But not as a person. I think he's a tremendously skilled broadcaster. That I do believe. He's good at what he does. But some of the things are just like, come on, man. Rippenball Bill says, all hail the flying spaghetti monster. Yes. Myth or legend? Well, it just depends on how easily persuaded you are, I suppose. I'm going to get this one first. SG Fanboy, a man of few words, but good words, says VTL is a balloon knot. And see, things like that make him giddy. Because all he wants is clout. That's all he wants. He just wants the attention. And I'm giving him some right now. Because the Dabbleverse stuff we kind of hashed over all week. Maybe this emergency show tonight will have some new information. But we've talked about it this week. I don't think I can add anything to the programs people have seen. I would like to say that Point Dabble Point rebounded nicely from my appearance this week. And I was on the show when Opie kicked Shuley out of his program, and it was a great episode to be on. I have otherwise been completely invisible in that entire incident, so I have that skill. I will also say that I find it hilarious. I don't know how it got started. Phil Elmore told me he thinks he may have started it. Is that the Tom Gully? I think that's hilarious. I think it's really hilarious when Carl does it from Who Are These Podcasts. I am terrified that Who Are These Podcasts will evaluate my program. I live in mortal fear of that. I wake up at night sweating and in terror in the fetal position over that. But Reverend Wild Bill says, think I'm going to hop into my steam-powered rocket and jump the ditch to the Dollar General. I need me some Choco Tacos. Oh boy, there's a callback. We had quite a long and storied history with the Choco Taco. Tim Jenkins, it says, yeah, he just reads headlines and makes up stories. He has good grip going. Yeah, if he's got something good going and people like it, more power to him. Me, personally, this program, and everyone that I know with any integrity in their soul, just thinks he's a joke. SG Fanboy says, I don't care. He's still a balloon knot. I don't know. I think balloon knot is substantially larger than... Painkiller says, you're so right. VTL doesn't care what you say about him as long as you're saying it about him. That is exactly correct. And we're doing it right here. I admit it. I will also admit that he's getting very little clout here, a microscopic amount. Reverend Wild Bill says, bad publicity is good publicity for him. I guess. Yeah. In a debate that's not on his program, I would use him like a mop. It wouldn't even be funny. Anyone with a germ of logic could ridicule him, make him look terrible. Reverend Wild Bill says, yes, I sometimes correct grammar on the fly, but I do appreciate that. Uncle Jack says, I heard it on BS the first time and ran with it. Is this the Tom Gully? Yes, this is the Tom Gully. It's so undeserved and therefore ironic, and that's why I find it funny. Karen Garvey says, the podcast that Carl reviews are so bad. Trust me, don't worry about it. I worry. I do worry. I worry about it the way I worry about having to debate Ben Shapiro. I'm pretty sure if I was to debate Ben Shapiro, even if I was talking about something I knew way more than him about, and I was in the right, I think he could beat me because, he talks so fast. Lucas Malago says, this is Tom Gully's Dabbleverse. That was coined on another podcast. It makes me so happy. And it's, again, completely, anybody that knows anything about the Dabbleverse, if they saw that, they would laugh and go, oh, please. However, people that don't know anything about it and don't care about it in another world on the internet, that's what it's known as, unfortunately, for the Dabbleverse. And it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. Painkiller says, do you work in radio, Tom? I do. I am a radio professional, I guess. I have a regular job that's much more lucrative, but yes, I am employed by a major radio company to be on the radio doing radio. Terry Nee says, don't say VTL is depraved, maniacal, short man syndrome, and lacking in character. Please refrain. Yes, of course. I would never say that. What's the other things I won't say about him? Hold on a second here. There are some other things. Let me find out where that's at. Hold on. This is going to be worth the wait. Trust me. That's not what that is. Let's see. Look that up real fast here. Come on. Oh, there we go. This is going to come up, and it's going to be great. Everybody's going to like it. There we go. It is. Roller. What kind of file is that? Do I really want to open this? Might not want to. I'm going to anyway. I'm going to do that anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. Sorry. I'm going to do it anyway. I'll get some of your chats here just as soon as I close this other program. Oh, let me see here. Reverend Wild Bill says, I'm glad Tom understands my Taiwanese. Fat finger syndrome. Painkiller says, he's worse than that, Terry. He is. He is much worse than that. Kirkland Red 100s. Man, I love this dude. He says, you have to force Ben Shapiro down. His arguments aren't always good. They are just good enough. Well, he's talking at such a rate that he will throw in something that's not really true. If we're to assume Coca-Cola is a soda and that sodas are bad for you and that trains travel to New England, then what the train, New England, how did that get into it? And then gotcha. Kirkland said, slow down. You mean, yeah, you got to go into the four-corner drill with Ben Shapiro. He does have a lot of very logically ordered, beliefs. I respect that. Painkiller says, I just guessed the radio profession by your delivery. That's funny to me. This is not the delivery I use on the radio currently, generally speaking. Karen Garvey says, next T-shirt, Tom Gully's Dabbleverse. Oh, Karen, can you imagine the onslaught of abuse I would take if I was marketing a T-shirt that said Tom Gully's Dabbleverse? I would be destroyed by the Dabbleverse if I did that. Let me see here. Where is it? Come on. Oh, yeah, here it is. Vince is, the lawyer is, I think he takes a lot of abuse because he's a very diminutive man. But I personally would never call him small, little, tiny, minuscule, teeny, tiny, low, stubby, miniature, dwarfish, wee, microscopic, diminutive, Lilliputian, stumpy, pint-sized, runty, not tall, pocket-sized, knee-high to a gnat. We'd never call him those things, ever. That would be wrong. That's why you will never, ever hear me call him small, little, tiny, minuscule, teeny weeny, low, stubby, miniature, dwarfish, wee, little, microscopic, diminutive, Lilliputian, stumpy, pint-size, runty, not tall, pocket-sized, knee-high to a gnat. Not going to do that. Not going to do it. Just wouldn't do it. Ever. That'd be wrong. Wouldn't do that. Yes, Karen, laugh away. If I ever made a shirt that said Tom Gully's Dabbleverse, could you imagine the hell that would rain down upon me? It would be oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Now I could turn that into a work where it became fun because it was so wrong. Maybe. The Dabbleverse is a strange place. Upside down is downside up. It's Uncle Jack, is this the Tom Gully Dabbleverse? SG Fanboy says, oh golly, it's Tom Gully. Golly, 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 golly. You can't imagine when Gomer Pyle USMC was on TV, the golly, I got that from everybody. Terry Nee says, ankle biter. SG Fanboy says, itty bitty. And I realize, gentlemen, that these are names you would never, ever, ever call them. The Gullyverse, that's right. Karen Garvey says, M-word. I don't know what that is, but I'm in favor of it. Because if Karen Garvey says something, I'm in favor of it. Reverend Wild Bill says, thick as a brick. Yes, exactly. Terry Nee says, I saw VTL in Pottstown. He used the child's urinal. Yeah, and he needed to stand on 3 phone books to do that. But I would never say that, of course. It's just what I heard. I don't know that for sure. Painkiller says, yes, Karen, I much prefer the M word for Vincent. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. And, we really shouldn't hassle him too much because he does such a great job making all those cookies and crackers up in that tree with all of his friends. I heard. I'm not sure about that. It's just what I heard. Tyler Schollenberger said, Tom doesn't dabble with the Dabbleverse. I won't trifle with it, that's for sure. Good Lord. I'm going to ask somebody, one of the major people that I know on those rare occasions when they acknowledge me, well, what would happen if I had a T-shirt out that said Tom Gully's Dabbleverse? Ooh, man, oh man. But that's what they call it in another part of the internet because they know me and I have spoken on the Dabbleverse, and that's their only reference to the Dabbleverse is my telling them about it. Thus, they call it, yeah. Painkiller says, VTL would have to look up to see my belt buckle. Look up to see the bottom of your shoe. But I would never say that. Painkiller says, up in that tree. Yeah, you're with me. You're with me. Reverend Wild Bill says, vertically challenged. Yes, say the least. And by least, I mean least. Reverend Wild Bill says, there, got a short one. It says, Painkiller says, parasitic. I really want to thank you guys for listing all of the things that you would never, ever, ever call VTL. Positive Patriot says, hey, Tom, happy Saturday. Right back at you. Not that happy. Arsenal lost 1-0 at Villa. And my most favorite Major League Soccer team, LAFC, lost to my least favorite team, the Columbus Crew, 2-1 in the MLS Cup final today. So for those of you not familiar with soccer, that was the game today that you were cursing at because you wanted to watch college football. Hughes says, what would VTL's name be in the surf universe? Tiny Driftwood? But I would never call him that. SG Fanboy says, the good news is busy season in the North Pole, so maybe we won't hear much from him for the next few weeks.
Herbie, aren't you finished with those toys?
I want to be a dentist or a lawyer.
Let's see. Kirkland Red 100 says it's almost like lawyers are unlikable and responsible for the destruction of Western society. Why is insurance high? Lawyers. Why are there no more take your children to work days? Lawyers. Go on, go on. Most of the members of Congress are. Never mind. Reverend Wild Bill says need a ladder to scratch a worm's belly there too. I'm glad that you are stating you're not going to ever say that about him. Terry Nee says, I think VTL is auditioning for the new Wizard of Oz and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Might not be tall enough, but that's just what I heard. And of course, I would never say that. Let's see here. Mini Blowfish. Yeah, there you go. Gatobot Show says, am I banned? No, you are not, Gatobot. You are not. You are clearly not a fan. But I am not going to ban you that I know of. I'm sure you know of reasons I would, but I don't want to and I don't intend to. And as of now, no, you are not banned. You are not. Gatobot says, thank you, Tom. And thank you. Thank you, Gatobot. You're a gentleman and a scholar. It's a pleasure to know you, sir. Anyway, let's see here. 972-994-6822. Somebody would like to call in. Otherwise, we're going to be, getting out of here in 15 minutes. Julian Zeezer says, don't ban me. I'm being good. Julian, I got no beef with you. You're a wonderful chat guy in the Shuli Network, and you're welcome here anytime you want, brother. You're fine. Reverend Wild Bill says, a not banned fan. That's what we all shoot for. Positive Patriot says, lawyers and banksters makes me sing. Lawyers, guns, and money. My good friend Warren Zevon. Julian Zeezer says, just kidding. Boy, I tell you what, we could use a little more Warren Zevon in the world. I'll tell you that. Mm-hmm. You're my witness, I'm your... Anyway. Mutineer. Hugh says that was supposed to say Smurf Universe. Julian Zeezer says, just kidding. I knew you were, man. I knew you was.
I knew you were. I knew the whole time you were. I didn't take it personal, but you was trashing me. Look at Julian Zeezer. For all I've done for him, he finally turned on me.
Here, I got to do my patented Stuttering John drinking style. Normally you need a gallon jug of V8 for that, but Warren Zevon is cool because he used brucellosis in a song. I'm sure he did. Sure he did. He also was a great friend of the David Letterman show, and but I loved him way before that. The breadth of his music is staggering. There's a really good concert video that's like, remember when they used to show the video up the concerts up at the top? Well, they did that, and it's from that, somewhere in New Jersey from like 82. And it's really, really awesome. You can find it. Music Vault, I think, is the YouTube page that's got that on it. Kirkland Red 100 says, Werewolves of Rochester. Ow, the Werewolves of Rochester. Ow. Anyway, it's always interesting when an artist has one giant song that they're known for, and then they have this amazing body of work of other songs that are equally just fabulous. But that was Warren Zevon. Reverend Wild Bill says, I've been trying to get banned for years now and still haven't made it. Nope, you're not going to make it either, Reverend Wild Bill. There's no way you're getting banned ever. SG Fanboy says, Tiny Smurf. Hey, look, it's Tiny Smurf. Reverend Wild Bill says, I think Tom feels sorry for me and gives me pity. I do not. I never would give you pity. Not even Tom pity. Julian Zezer says, I remember watching Warren Zevon on Letterman just before he passed away. Yeah, that was the episode that he knew he was going to die from a rare but very advanced form of lung cancer. And Letterman knew he was going to die. And they talked about it openly. He was the only guest that night. And they did 3 songs. They did Mutineer. They did Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner, excuse me. What was the other one that they did? I don't want to say they did Werewolves in London because I don't think they did. But in any case, Mutineer is one of, if not my favorite. And he also did an album with Springsteen and Jackson Browne and a bunch of big stars called The Wind while he knew he was dying. And that's when he wrote the song, I think it's called Think of Me for a Little While or something like that. It was an amazing episode. That's also when he coined the phrase that all Warren Zevon fans now hold very dear. Letterman asked him, do you now, in your situation, know something that maybe I don't? And Warren responded, well, I know you're supposed to enjoy every sandwich. And so if you meet a Zevon fan, oh, I like Warren Zevon. I like Warren Zevon too. And you might even at the same time say, enjoy every sandwich. Karen is laughing at someone in the room. That's good. Well, Karen, we have musical tastes alike. She was on The Wind, all over the place. Kirkland Red 100 says, I'm pretty sure you have doubled your viewers, Tom. 15? We get about 15 or so normally. We don't get many more than that, but we get 15. We're a hard 15, man. We're at 15. Anyway. Terry Nee says, I like Bobby Weir because he used vicissitudes in a song. Yeah. I like a good songwriter can put just about anything in a song. I don't know how many of you people know about Robert Earl King, but Robert Earl Keane, excuse me. This old porch is just a... Anyway, I won't get into it. Yeah, Robert Earl Keane. You guys know about Robert Earl Keane? It's a Texas thing, man. Let's see here. Robert, you boys know about Robert Earl? There we go. You got to know about Robert Earl now. I wish I could play some Texas music for you. I'd love to be Texas music to the world. I really would. It's so good, and there's so much of it. This old porch is just a big old red and white Hereford bull standing under a mesquite tree in Agadosa, Texas. She just keeps song back and forth, and that it's playing hide and seek with that hot Texas sun. She's sweating out a patent because his work is... no. There's a great line. I'm probably freezing up right now. I got so many things open, including that phone line, 972-994-6822. You might have to wait a little bit. Speaking of little bit, VTL was in here earlier. Of course, I would never say little bit, and I don't know that for sure. But I do have no proof that he's a lawyer. This old porch is just a steaming, greasy plate of enchiladas with lots of cream and onion. Guacamole salad. You can get a hotel in old downtown with iced tea and a waitress who will smile every time you... I highly recommend that you listen to The Porch Song by Robert Earl Keane when you get a chance. Let's see here. Let's see. Karen Garvey says, Tom, we are the wind beneath your wings. I'm hoping that you said that because you know how often I say it. Karen, did you ever know that you're my hero? Anyway. Terry Nee, John Prine, a great songwriter. What's the song he wrote? You're going to tell me the title. I know this, Terry. It's about the two lakes the two lakes next to each other up in, I believe, Minnesota. Doggone it, it's at the tip of my tongue. I always forget the name of it though. It's and them brats, they was sizzling. Tom Waits too. Can't get me enough Tom Waits. Hugh says Lawyers, Guns, and Money was the third. Yes, that was Lawyers, Guns, and Money. He played all of his songs on there because in the early days and even into the midpoint of that show, when Paul would be out of town, Warren would be leading the band. So Warren said David Letterman is the best fan my music ever had. SG Fanboy says, Tom, toadies are from Texas. Oh, don't get me started on all the things from Texas now. Don't you get me started on Texas now. Come on now. Kirkland Red 100 says, did you watch John today? He was typing like an avalanche coming down a mountain. Yeah, I can't even do that to my... He's hunting peck, and he's up here with his pullback. He's up here. He's in here. He's in here. He should be down in here. He's not. And what do you expect? He didn't graduate from NYU. The name of the university ought to be NYU didn't graduate. Rivermont Bill says, I love how Primus uses words Big Brown Beaver song in a song. Yeah, you got to use some words. It is. That Terry Nee, it's Lake Marie. It's it. Lake Marie is the name of the song. Because there are two lakes. One's Lake Elizabeth, I think, and the other one's Lake Marie. And Lake Marie is the name of the song. I love that song. And, John Prine, you could talk all day about the great songs he had. There's a show called Spectacle that used to be on Sundance Channel, hosted by my favorite artist, Elvis Costello. And he had John Prine on for an episode that just he had everybody on. That was amazing. So Land Between the Lakes, that might be the actual name of it. I don't know. But Lake Marie is how he refers to it in the introduction of the song. SG Fanboy says, so are the Beehole Surfers. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, they are. So is Michael Nesmith. And so is Willie Nelson. And so is, I could go on and on and on. So is Ray Wiley Hubbard, so is other people. Tom McIlvaine. That one threw you, didn't it? Tommy Alverson. Others. 1100 Springs and Matt Hillier. They're from there. Rachel Stacy, whole bunch of them. Hugh says, I like Gringo Honeymoon. Gringo Honeymoon is outstanding. I have it. No Kind of Dancer and Gringo Honeymoon are actually on my coffee table right now. Not more than 10, I don't know how many feet away. Very close. Told I was no kind of dancer. SG Fanboy says, smells like 7 layers. That beaver eats Taco Bell. That's a great lyric. Kirkland Red 100 says, do you think John Denver was referring to Western Virginia as opposed to West Virginia? No. Was that his song? Did he write that song? Boy, that song, when it was big, you couldn't walk out of the house without hearing it. Rivermont Bill says, I'll never smoke weed with Willie again. That a Toby Keith? There's a great song by, oh man, Kevin. This is killing me. I have a whole playlist of his. Kevin, he did star sign, question mark. Man, I'm going to have to look it up here. I don't want to do it on my computer because I'm going to slow it down too much. But Kevin, this is making me so mad. I was listening to him all day today. He did another one called Before Somebody Gets Hurt with Amy from the Rankin Twins. Kevin, and I'll put the song Don't Touch. Kevin Fowler, Don't Touch My Willie. I don't know you that well. Put your hands on some Haggard or some Jones or anybody else. It's a great song, Don't Touch My Willie. There's a little song about keeping your hands off my Willie. Same principle. There's another great one called Willie Nelson for President. They play down here all the time. SG Fanboy says all of George Strait's exes are indeed from Texas. Down here in Texas, we call him Old King George. That's what we call him. Julian Caesar's laughing at SG Fanboy. Reverend Wild Bill says, I think Willie had better smoke than Snoop. Just saying. Well, Snoop and Willie did a song together called I Ain't Superman, and they are flaming up hard in that video. Hard. Terry Nee says, I love Billy Joe Safer's song, If You Don't Love Jesus. Oh, I love that song. Oh, man, why am I so... can't remember the names of songs I listened to today. Let's see. No, I was just listening to this song. David Allan Coe, Never Called Me By My Name. You don't have to call me Waylon Jennings. There's a bunch of old good songs down here in Texas. I'll tell you what, that Kevin Fowler, Lord Loves a Drinking Man. Let's see here. SG Fanboy says, Snoop said that Willie smoked him out. Yeah. There you go. Hugh. Yes, Kevin Fowler. That girl there in the sundress. Oh, man, such good stuff. Kirkland Red 100 says, I mentioned this on BS the other day. A band called Big Country wrote a song named In a Big Country. Kirkland, I have that album here. There's another hit off of that album called The Luck of 1,000 Stars. But the video for Big Country is wild. It's wild because they are actually, there's a chase that's going on all across Scotland. And the interesting thing also about Big Country as a band, 3 guitars and a drum. I mean, that band was, you know, what is it? Yeah. I never thought I'd look this way without a reason. Another, yeah, oh yeah. SG Fanboy likes In a Big Country. Tyler Schollenberger says, Willie is probably the only person on the planet that can outsmoke Snoop. You betcha. You betcha. Many people have said that about our good friend Willie Nelson. Kirkland Red 100 says the black guy in Big Country is VTL size. It's just what I heard. I don't know that to be true. Reverend Bob Bill says, I tried and I failed. What do we got here? Oh, that's going to do it for tonight's show. I'm not going to sit here and wait for any more calls. That's a forlorn hope. Oh, only Wild Bill. Wild Bill, you can make a case braver than VTL. He called in, and Mr. Chatroom Troll didn't have the stones to call into my program. Just saying. Kirkland Red 100 says, Halloween candy human. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Karen Garvey says, I miss traveling across the country and listening to regional radio. Everything is so corporate now. Hey, Karen, I've got a station for you. It's 95.3 The Range. KHY 95.3. I got to say this right, because, Karen, if you listen to this station, you're going to hear this. KHY 95.3 The Range. If you type in KHYI, you'll be able to listen to a ton of Texas music and just good country in general. Streaming on that station, KHYI. And although, you know, I just shilled a bunch of my T-shirts, they have a cool logo if you ever did want to buy a T-shirt. Karen Garvey says, thank you, Tom, in chat room. I have new music to check out tomorrow. Karen, I don't know if you're, well, no, you said you were a Warren Zevon fan, but the last episode of Warren Zevon's life on the David Letterman program is in its entirety on YouTube, and the musical performances are separated, so you could do either one. Anyway, SG Fanboy says, O&A had an intern said his favorite band was Big Country, and Ant said, I'm a big dummy. Well, Ant likes metal, I think, or something. He likes harder rock, if I'm not mistaken, or more classic rock. Reverend Wild Bill says, is so short he got lost under D's nuts. He couldn't call. That's right, Wild Bill. That's right. He got caught under something bigger than he was. I don't even know what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. I'm starving. I'm going to figure that out. It's either a pizza or it's... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have some Pop-Tarts. I'm not going to do a big meal. I'm just going to have some Pop-Tarts, kind of chill. I've got some strawberries. Leave it at that. So, hey, please, thanks for letting me tell you about the Snake River Canyon jump. Thanks for rapping with us, everybody in the room tonight. Karen Garvey, SG Fanboy, all the rest. Karen, of course, made a very generous donation to paypal.me/Tom Gully Show last night. Super appreciated. The merch that I showed you, you can get that at thetomgullyshow.com. Go to the store, or you can just go directly to cafepress.com/The Tom Gully Show. And man, oh man, just subscribing and the rest of it. Tyler Schollenberger, what a solid he did me by just going to that 8-hour program called the Tomathon on the page and just clicking it before you go to bed. Walk away from the computer. Just walk away. Walk away. Walk away. That does great things for me in terms of getting closer to monetization. So there we go. Let me see here. Wow, there's more stuff in here I got to put up on the screen now. Karen Garvey says, Keep Me in Your Heart for a Little While is one of my favorites. Yes, that's the last track on The Wind. Disorder in the House is also good, and I think he does that with Bruce Springsteen. SG Fanboy says, I'm not a country fan really, but old outlaw stuff is pretty cool. Well, that's where you'll hear Texas country. And that is, yes, they're going to play some Bob Wills and older stuff, but they play a lot of Texas country, which is really... It's a mix of the blues and the Eagles and the country. It's, listen to it. If you like it, great. If you don't, hey, don't worry about it. Hey, don't worry about it. Ain't nothing but a thing. Terry Nee says, fanboy. There we go. Thank you, Terry Nee. I appreciate it. Reverend Wild Bill says, great show. Thank you, sir. And SG Fanboy says, same time every night, Tom. Well, we're going to do it the same time every night for the foreseeable future. I might be having I have a day job, and the circumstances of that may change, and if they do, the hour of the show may change, but once it does change, it won't move. We're going to start doing this show the same time every day. Unfortunately, the evening after 5 o'clock in the Central Time Zone where I live, and even on the East Coast, it gets very, very congested with other Dabbleverse shows. I will never do this show at the same time as Phil Elmore's show. And that's number one. I like Phil. He's a friend of mine. We're both tiny shows. He's much larger than mine. So I wouldn't want to detract, and I just wouldn't do that out of respect. Some of the bigger shows, I don't mind as much because they have huge audiences. And so as much as I love and respect those guys, I got to do a show sometime, And occasionally one of their shows will bleed over into the 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Mountain, 4 o'clock Pacific time. And I'm just going to have to start doing it, and hopefully they'll understand. What do we got here? Western. Yeah, we got both kinds, country and Western. With all that being said, I guess the only thing left to say is thank you all so much for being here. And, till next time, we'll see you next time.
They call me Mr. Lucky, and I guess I am. I got a world of hurts living under my